the quiet of the night. Piano keeps whispering low. Let the rhythm take us slow. High, this life is sweet now. From the streets to the sweet now. For la, in the groove we stay. Stando, I don't go away. Let the piano play. We never fade away. Vibe, no need to speak. Fall forever.
Yo, it's the Football Power Hour. We're back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are still third. Hello, rival fans. Hello, calm down. Talking too much, celebrating too much too quickly. We are still third. Last time I looked at the Premier League table, especially this one also goes out to Manchester United fans that are already imploding. I want to find out how we're feeling about this now that we have finally experienced a loss under Michael Carrick. And how do we look at that game? How do we reflect on that game? How do we look at the players that performed? So I want to kindly invite you to hit the like button, chill for a second, relax. I need to get my water. So just give me a moment, right? We'll be right back. Yo, there we go. Thank you for your patience. If you didn't know, St. James's Park has a new hero who goes by the name of William Osula. He is a 22-year-old striker who Newcastle acquired from Sheffield United in 2024 for a reported £15 million. Now, Osula has come into this Newcastle team and actually given Eddie Howe some life. In the Premier League, he doesn't score a lot of goals. He has only had 2 goals in 16 matches. Oh, shit! And one of the 2 goals that he scored was versus Manchester United. Why does a player like William Osula have to turn up against us? Like, why? Why is the question I'm asking. What, he took that ball really well. And, in the post-match interview, Osula got to speak, and he said he has been practicing that cutting inside and shooting. And he was so ready for the moment when he came in and was given that opportunity to just go ahead and give trouble to the Manchester United defense. And boy, he sent Tyrell Malacia to the shops. Matter of fact, Malacia is still, rumors is out there that Malacia is still out shopping at the very moment. Has anybody seen Tyrell Malacia? He is out buying oxtails. I guess every Manchester United fans that has been asking, where's Tyrell Malacia? I guess we have our answer now, right? And I'm not singling him out saying he's the only player that was at fault, because also you could make a case that Maguire should have also pressed. Maguire ended up becoming an obstacle that made Lamans not even see the shot the moment the shot was struck. But my God, Tyrell Malacia shouldn't have been on that pitch, and Michael Carrick learned his lesson yesterday, that a player like Tyrell Malacia, you bring him on when you are a goal or 2 up at home. When you are away against a team like Newcastle, forget the natural left back thing. That conversation don't make no sense if the player has been away from the pitch for so long. Aiden Heaven, in hindsight, Aiden Heaven looks like it would have been the right choice, would have been the proper, better decision. But that's why you are there in the hot seat, Michael Carrick. So us fans can look at it and say, well. A decision that didn't go right. Every substitution is a gamble. And usually you're gambling with more information, looking at the skill set of the player that you're bringing in. And this gamble of Tyrell Malacia did not pay off. Matter of fact, the gambling started a lot too late. It started a lot too late in the game. And I'm not even a fan of the way, the order in which he brought the subs on. But we will get to that when we're grading Michael Carrick. If you're new to the streets, I want to welcome you to the match review. We look at every player's performance, including the manager, and give them a performance grade, A, B, C, or D, or F, And today is going to be a very interesting one, because I wonder what you put it down to, other than the disappointment of losing to a 10-man Newcastle.
And this is totally crap.
It's not the first time we lose to 10 men this season.
And this is totally crap.
It's not the first time we look so lethargic this season.
And this is totally crap.
It's not the first time this is happening. Same players, different manager. Last time it was versus Everton. Which loss to 10 men feels worse? I almost wanted to do a poll for it, but I don't think this is the right question. Which loss feels worse? Was it the loss to Everton or the loss to Newcastle? I want to know. Big up yourself if you're just tuning in. please do the right thing. Hit the like button. H Dot in the building. Joe Blackman in the house with a very, very important reminder. Have you hit the like button? Are you here just as a free rider? If you are, you're welcome. But please, doesn't cost that much. Just a little energy on your thumb. You might lose like half a calorie. Just hit the like button or click whatever platform you're watching this on. Big up to you, Stephanie in the house. I want to know what your thoughts are after sleeping on the game. H Don is asking, what was Malacia looking at? I think he was gone looking for a hairdresser or something, because Tyrell did not do well. Joe Blackman was shouting free Tyrell Malacia. Well, see what happens when you let him free? Yeah, we do not need a very, very, very cold Malacia on the pitch right now. He needs to be brought on when you have a cushion, and most likely when you're at home, because an away pitch like St. James's Park is not a playground. It's a war zone. And that was one thing that I noticed as well about yesterday, that we're not ready for war yet. Matter of fact, Newcastle squad, the way that built, that closer to the Arsenal build, in my opinion. They are close in profile, in the way that they graft in strength, team strength, as a collective and individually. They are closer to the Arsenal. Maybe not on the league table, but they have that frustrating type of gameplay that is meant to make you also lose your marbles a little bit. You lose your calm. You lose your patience. And that's a lot of what we lacked yesterday. Normally, when a team is one man down, you're supposed to be saying, ha, 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 ha. Well, you know that scene in the movies when you finally like the hero now, like things shift when the villain has been winning, and then like it's like, okay, now what, you know that moment in the movie that I'm talking about? It's supposed to be party time. Matter of fact, let me put this in terms that H Dawn will understand. You know when you're at the party, H Dawn, right? And she's been flirting with you. And you know she's got that like friend who's not as kind to the eye, right? And this is the friend that usually says, "No, we gotta go." You know that friend, when she leaves, because she left, Newcastle had a red card. That friend that yappa too much left. The one you've had your eyes on is flirting with you. In this case, we're talking about Champions League. Do you understand, H. Don, what happened yesterday? We fumbled the bag. We fumbled the dance. She looked at us. She smiled. She waved. She did everything. Then she even flashed us. And we still didn't get the hint. Thank you. I knew you'd get it. Champions League was in our pod. It's still in our hands. We could have put it in a pocket. But we didn't. And we are to blame for that. Normally, it's supposed to be party time when a team has a red card, is the point that I'm trying to make right now. Right? And for more than for all of the second half, Newcastle looked like they didn't have a man down. Newcastle, matter of fact, were disappointed that we only had 6 minutes added on. They wanted more. That's how their game went yesterday, and that's the part that frustrates the most and makes it so hurtful. Let's get a little context from the gaffer. Let's hear what he says. He only spoke for about 4 minutes, and I think we can definitely dedicate 4 minutes to the gaffer. Kindly hit the like button if you haven't yet. Stephanie says he picked up a handbag and moved on. Right? She was like, H. Don plays for the other team.
Shout the season, man.
All right, Michael Carrick says.
Yeah, disappointed, obviously. Bitterly disappointed. It hurts.
Is he a little 10? Man, what's up with Man United? Why is it making Michael Carrick lose his color quickly? What is going on? Okay. All right. Maybe it's just like blood on his face and it's frustrated Michael Carrick. That is what we're looking at right now.
Hurts that tonight. I think we definitely came here in good shape, looking to get something from the game, if not win the game. And the way it panned out, obviously, it's very disappointing. There's no way of two ways about that.
It felt the second half like you started quite slowly when maybe you just got the man advantage, just got the equaliser, should have been the time to take the game. Why do you think that was the second half? Kind of?
Football's football, and there's things that it happens in the game.
Hey, football's football. Hey, I like that, Michael. I like that. Sometimes Michael be dropping bombs, like some really good quotes, but he just glosses over them like he speaks in cursive. If you get what I'm saying. Is it just me? Carrick speaks in cursive. Like I'm like, okay, I hear that, understand the words, but wait, what did he just say? I wonder if other Manchester United players are starting to experience that or not. I don't know. Let's hear. Let's hear. Football is football again.
Why do you think that was the second half? Kind of?
Football's football, and there's things that it happens in the game. Sometimes goes with you, goes away from you. Certain things that we got to do, of course. You know, we can be better. We can be an awful lot better. We've put ourselves in a good position, in a decent position with the performances and the results that we've had. So yeah, tonight hurts.
It really hurts. Manchester United, don't hurt me no more. You know why it hurts the most? Because the next team we play is Villa, you know. Look at this. We could have been facing Villa with a little bit of like, well, we don't need you to get at us. I mean, we don't need to get at you guys, but we need you to get at us. And that's a very privileged position to approach a game. You get what I'm saying? If Aston Villa playing Aston Villa, them knowing that, okay, we need to catch up to Manchester United, that's a totally different conversation. Do you see what I'm talking about? That's a totally different conversation. Now we're going to be playing a game saying we're equal on points. And it has a different tone. But we'll save that for the preview. But it hurts. I hear you, Michael Carrick. Your words resonate with me.
Just the way the game was going. I think it's emotions is part of the game, and certain things we wanted to do and try and do, and you're not doing it. That's the boys have been fantastic, you know. So we've lost the game of football. Listen, it hurts me a lot. I'm really disappointed with tonight for different reasons, but we can't lose sight of the position we've put ourselves in as well. So as much as I'm disappointed, and we need to learn from it because it's a bit of a lesson for us tonight in some ways. We can't lose sight of the bigger picture as well, and it's we got to be better for this.
Can't lose sight of the bigger picture, Michael. I agree with that, 100%. Champions League football is the bigger picture.
No, we had Cunha played on the touchline today. And,
who is the sound guy at St. James's Park? Because we can't hear the questions. Whoever the sound guy at St. James's Park, they need to make way for the new generation.
Wide, so we had width in the team. I'm not going to dissect the performance. You know, there was some decent bits. There was a lot of bits we need to get better at. The boys have been good. You know, we've played well and had a lot of results. So we've lost the game tonight. Of course, we all hoping, the boys, myself, the players, the staff, we all hoping for a little bit more. It didn't happen for us.
Michael, there's a few contentious moments in the first half. Obviously, the sending off.
Very good question, H. John. We'll get to this in a moment. He's about to answer the last question.
No, to be honest, I think things happen in the game. I've not seen them back, to be brutally honest with you. The result in itself and things within the game from us of what we can do better is what I'm really interested in. I think you get some decisions for you, some against you. It is what it is. I'm not going to pick them apart right now.
Pick them apart, Michael. Why are you holding back? It's the first loss, I guess. Okay, I understand.
We got to make it the best of it, really. So we got to make it a help, really. And you know, as I said, about learning lessons and understanding why tonight was what it was and how it happened and how it kind of how it developed going against us. We got to learn from that. So we look at that and yeah, well, it's another important game. You know, it's a big week for us and it's a one to look forward to. We're in a position now that we've put ourselves in and the boys have put themselves in that can be really exciting. So we got to be really positive going into the next game and looking forward to it because there's a lot to play for. All right, cheers, guys.
All right, cheers, mate. We still got a lot to play for, says Michael Carrick. So to be honest, it's not all doom and gloom. I really like that he has that tone as the manager because he sets the vibe. He sets, the mood for the organization, for the fan base, for the players. So all I can say is heads up, lads. We go again next week. I like that he doesn't want to, as much as part of me is like pick them apart, he doesn't want to do that. And part of it is like I can see his forehead has Malasia written on it. It also has Mbumo written on it when he was talking about we got to analyze how the development of the game went, So was I frozen? Big up to Lewis in the house, says Sesotho. Big up yourself. Sesotho. That's the language spoken in Lesotho. Big up, Lewis. Shout out to you, Lou, man, as well. So I feel like he has a lot to unpack with the players to figure out how, one, to not let that happen again, where we just don't look like we were up for the challenge. We just didn't look like we're physically ready for it. And I wonder if 2 games in 4 days has something to do with it. But let's be real. There is something that has been happening the last 4 games at Manchester United where our performances have not been really pleasing on the eye. And that's the common denominator out of all those 4 performances. So you could also remember that, like I mentioned, that we had some fortune in the moments where Sesko scored to rescue a point for us or to rescue what seemed would have been a draw. Like we had some moments of fortune in those games. And sure, we put ourselves in a position to be lucky and fortunate. But at the same time, we really, 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 really got away with some games. And Newcastle was just an epitome of the lackluster performances that have been continuing or that have been brewing the last couple of games. So now we know that the honeymoon for sure is over, as we said yesterday. Where do we go from here? H. Don has his eyes on the coach, and that's why I want to highlight this comment from Elian. Says, did Carrick making training less intense affect the players? Very, very, very important question, because we were seeing a lot about it in the media that, oh, Carrick gets it. Carrick lets the players have a day or two off. They've been overworked. Is that the perspective that you have? I want to know. There is other people that are thinking, well, look at how we got here. The Ruben Amorim effect is wearing off. Do you hear what I'm saying? The Ruben Amorim effect is wearing off. Listen to this take. Amorim's intense style of play, of playing possession football, man-to-man marking, and his system is starting to fade away from these players. For the past 4 games, we've just been playing vibes football, with individual brilliance from Sesko and Bruno saving us. Let's admit it, the players are now playing the same way we saw under Eric, and it's going to hurt us later. Hold on, whether you agree with this take or not, just listen for a little bit. That's why I said Amorim was building a monster in these players. But after a few weeks, all the hard work is gone just like that. After this season, we should go for Luis Enrique. We also need to sign 5 new players and move from Malacia, Dalo Shaw, Ugarte Zexi, Casemiro, and a few other academy players. What do you think about this take? There is some things in there that I agree with. That is why I brought it up. Big up to Kara, by the way. Kara, United Kara said this. Are we just purely playing vibes football right now? Are we playing with no tactics? Are we playing, let's wait for the counter? I want to know. Where do you think we are as a team? Where do you think we are with Michael Carrick? Especially the people I want to talk to are the ones that we're saying Carrick is ready for the job. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in, by the way. There is over 30 people in here and less than 10 likes. Let's do a quick little poll. Do you think Carrick, or should I go, do you still think? No, do you still think implies that you always thought that Michael Carrick was ready for the job? Do you think Carrick is ready for permanence? Right? That's the question. I want to just catch a vibe of where we are as a community. Is he ready for permanent manager? Or is he ready to be permanent manager? I will read this take again in a second. I just want to make sure I set up this poll correctly. Yes, give him the job still. No. Look at other options. Another response could be, let's wait till the end of the season. I know most people are going to end up selecting that, though. I just want to know, yes or no. That's really what I want to know, right? That's what I want to know. My question stinks. Yeah. I don't like the third option. Most people are, yeah. There's some people that were saying give him the job already. There were some people in this community that Blackman that was saying give him the job already. So I'm gonna leave two options just for chaos. Yes. So there we go. The poll is done. Please make your opinion. Do you think Carrick is ready to be permanent manager for United? Yes, give him the job still. No. Look at other options. Boom. Okay. Now let's read this take again one more time. Big up to Kara again. So Kara said, Amarim's intense style of play of possession football, man-to-man marking, and his system is starting to fade away from these players. For the past 4 games, we've just been playing vibes football with individual brilliance from Sesko and Bruno saving us. Let's admit it, the players are now playing the same way we saw under Joe Blackman's manager, Erik ten Hag, and it's going to hurt us later. Kara went on to say that Amarim was building a monster team, but after a few weeks, all the hard work is gone just like that. Take that take. Add it with H. John's take of that, well, Michael Carrick has definitely lessened the load in terms of training. We've heard players talking about it, being happy about it. But there's a detriment to having less of a workload. And maybe now we're starting to see it. I want to know what you think. Is this take cooking cereal? Is this take giving you a different perspective on the players? Or is this take just like saying, hey, man, like, look, we understand that the last 4 games have been not the smoothest. We haven't seen rondos. We haven't seen the triangles. We haven't seen the intensity that we played with in the first 3. So how do you interpret what we're saying? What Kara is saying? The only thing that I want to say that I agree with is the fact that we need to move on from a couple of players. We saw what Malacia brings to the table. Yes, he was thrown into the deep end a little bit, but he's had enough chances, in my opinion, for Tyrell Malacia. Riri says you need to let them take time to like. You need to let them take to the like button, bots. Yeah, guys, yo. Let's hit the like button for a moment. Take the moment right now. How come these 45 people in here? This is crazy. How many people have at least made their opinion heard on with a like? Come on, man. How many likes do we have? 17, 18? Can we get to 25? Is that too much to ask? You can be the difference. You can get us to 25 likes. Come on. I want to know if you've hit the like button yet. Overhead Kick TV says, no, bro, Malaysia shouldn't be a talking point. That's exactly what what's his name? Osula said. He said, who? Malaysia. It's not a talking point. Osula was like, maybe Lamont, maybe Maguire is a talking point. Because I'm going to put this ball in the back of the net. And he did it. And we are now in this position where we could have actually gotten a cushion. A very, very, very much needed cushion. Shall we get to the grades? If you hit the like button, please, 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 that would be amazing. I'm going to put the link in the chat because I want to open up this conversation. And let's talk about it. What grades are we going to give these players? Because there was some people like what Overhead Kick TV is saying, Malaysia isn't a talking point. There's a bigger criminal than Malaysia, obviously. Malaysia is a talking point, unfortunately. But there is the first half for me, I said this yesterday, that there was a substitution that was begging to be made. And Michael Carrick did not see it in time. So, yeah. What are we saying? Okay, I want to say first things first, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, it's okay. Don't worry. Have no fear, because the one and only man like Bali Tech is here. Okay. Big up, Mr. Tech.
Really good people. Everybody like this stream right now. Big up to everyone in the chat. Obviously, we're here to talk about this diabolical football team losing to 10 men.
Which 10 men loss hurt the most? The Everton one or this one?
I would say this one, because at least like we saw that, I think to a certain extent, we got used to us winning some games, drawing some games, losing some games with that manager. But with this current manager, who up until then everybody was thinking he was walking on water, he was supplying the town with bread and fish. And even though he only had one piece, he just kept on coming up with more, you know?
Yeah.
He was supplying multiples. He was making things happen from nowhere.
Yeah.
And initially, he showed us good football. And then the football was slowly going downhill. And I think even in my last couple of calls, I said, I can't wait until we go back to the football we was playing when he first came in. Because the football that we're currently playing is very concerning.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, we were still getting the wins, and maybe the fact that we were getting the wins and we had the individual brilliances bailing us out from either losing positions, or we came back to win the games on late, or Sesko and Bruno were doing their thing. And we were kind of getting used to that. But in the back of my head, I was thinking, well, when we were playing well, that was sustainable. I know that if we go into games playing like that, we will beat teams.
Yeah.
But when we were playing like the way we played yesterday, like little B words, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that that's not sustainable. I know that in the English Premier League, yeah, if you go out and play like that, you're gonna get bitch slapped. You're gonna get moved to. You're going to get ran over, and that's essentially what happened. We got ran over by a team with 10 men. So this is a team that's confident. This ain't a team that Oh, because the results are indifferent, because they don't know the manager system. All of that out of the window. All of those excuses out of the window. All of this manager this and this manager that and blah, 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 out of the window. Even rewarded them with lighter training. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even with all of the things that these players have been afforded, they can't beat them, man.
Yeah. It was so disappointing, bro. You know. For me, it's even the fact that like I now wonder if they didn't have a red card, they probably would have beat us by more. That's the uncomfortable truth. you know, you know, it's possible. It's possible because like they had chances with 10 men. Maybe also partially is like the 10 men has a psychological effect on the team that they end up giving more. But during the watch along, we talked about what 10 men Newcastle did versus Liverpool. You know, yeah, I know I had a delusional take of predicting 4-1. Yes, Ikacheng, I remember, but that was my heart speaking and not my mind speaking. You know, and right now I just feel like we needed this wake up call. It was coming. A loss was coming. We just didn't know it was gonna come versus a 10-man Newcastle. You know,
I think my concern is right.
Yeah.
I think Carrick came in, maybe lifted the players off the floor, got them simplified everything, as he said, reduced the training, became their best friend, put his arm around everybody's shoulder, you know, gave them a little bit of we deserve better in the changing room, you know, G'd up all the boys, right? And then lo and behold now, I don't know, maybe they think the manager's a little bit sweet. Maybe they're not really seeing, maybe they're not used to seeing his ruthless energy. Now, if this was under Ruben would have punched the TV. Yeah, and they would have come out looking a little bit mean, looking a little bit serious, yeah?
Yeah.
How can Carrick go in there and throw a chair now? Yeah? How can he go in there and throw a chair? Who's he throwing a chair at?
Can he lift a chair?
like who's he going mad at?
Yeah, no, we need somebody that's gonna rough him up a little bit, you know. Talking about roughing things up, okay. I don't know. Big up to you, by the way, big game player who just joined. I appreciate you for being here, by the way. But Ikacheng, I was gonna mention this. Thank you for bringing it up now. But I was gonna mention this like earlier on in the show, but it just slipped my mind. But I don't know if people are aware of as Paul Scholes' Instagram post that apparently is now deleted, but yeah, Paul Scholes apparently after the game, or allegedly, he posted this. I will not even just paraphrase it or anything. I am just going to show you the deleted post, the apparent deleted post from Paul Scholes, alleged deleted post. So he says, Michael has definitely got something special about him because United have been crap last 4 games. Night, kissing emoji, tonali heart emoji. Huh? Paul Scholes?
My disappointment is immeasurable.
This is really true, which is making the rounds a lot, and I think it is true. How can a former Manchester United player post something like this after a game? Somebody we consider a legend. This is the embodiment of never meet your heroes, if this is true. What? Like, it feels like he was watching the game hoping that we will lose. That's the part that's disappointing for me. That's the part I'm reacting to, Ikarine. Because, like, I from the beginning when Michael Carrick came in, I told you and everybody here that, okay, I'm going to be cautious about this. I'm not going to just go ahead and jump on the Michael Carrick project and say, oh, I believe in it. But, you know, I'm not also like skeptical to the Paul Scholes level where you're now going to say Tonali, heart emoji. What?
You know what I think with this, yeah? If I'm going to be real, I feel like obviously Paul Scholes and Roy Keane, Nicky Butt, Gary Neville, because to me, they're the only legends that really do this, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, they work for a cabal. These brothers are getting paid to disparage Manchester United. Yeah, that's when they decided to go into media. I'm pretty sure. You see, the reason why somebody like a Rio Ferdinand doesn't come off the way he comes off is because Rio Ferdinand has his own platform. Rio Ferdinand doesn't need to sign up to a cabal and talk this stuff because he's done his own work. But Gary Neville and all of these brothers, these brothers signed up to that stuff from before. So obviously, whoever the forces that control them control their narratives, and now they rage bait the Manchester United fan base. But do you know what's funny? Is it's extremely convenient that we lose and now we're talking about this. Yeah. It's like, it's kind of like we're no longer talking about the Epstein files because Donald Trump has gone into Iran. It's like we're supposed to be talking about what the teams did and how Michael Carrick has dealt with certain things, his substitutions, the way he set up the team, his decision to bring on Tyrell Malacia, his decision to not substitute certain man, maybe his decision not to start certain man. And, you know, we're talking about Paul Scholes, the Ginger Ninja. We're talking about him.
Ginger Ninja.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah, no. Honestly, this is he's farming for likes, and him and Nicky Butt on that platform. I for me, I'm just like they're going about it in a way that I am not fond of. That's what I want to just like point out and say, yeah, maybe it's best sometimes you don't follow certain mendem, you know, just appreciate them. Because now imagine trying to defend Paul Scholes when you're like, oh wow, he's such an idiot. I didn't know that it's more one of those things that now like Sir Alex Ferguson looks even better now as a manager to be like, wow, you're able to get players like this that can't even like think straight to look good on the pitch. Big up, Sir Alex Ferguson. You know. All right, let's get to the reason why we're here. Let's get to the reason why we're here. I want to just quickly give you a player to you know, give a grade, Buddy Tech, and say which grade are you going to give Bruno Fernandes?
Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
I'll give in between a B and a C, and the reason for that is even in a loss, how many clear-cut chances did this man set up that no one took? The Euro one for me was probably the worst of the worst. Like he directed that, curled that ball into the back post. Euro headed it into the ground straight at the keeper. Now, in my head, I was thinking, game over. Like, that was one of the best balls of the game. But there was other chances, like in Bumo's chance, and there was other guys' chances as well that never quite got finished off. I think he created like 4 or 5 very dangerous chances, and nobody decided to finish them. So I can't mark Bruno down on that because the man them didn't want to finish guilty of chances.
Yeah. As a chance creator, he did his part. You're right. He even got an assist. Like the one goal that we scored. It was Bruno behind the delivery. And yeah, I think I have to agree with you. He's one of the players that could probably leave the game with a little bit more of I did my part. I tried my best. It's just that sometimes some of these players that I'm playing with are not at the level of execution that I'm at. Yeah. If you look at the stats, he created 8 chances in this game apparently, and but he did concede a penalty.
Yeah, but that was a little bit unlucky. I still ain't marking him down because of that penalty, because it's not like it was a blatant thing. It's just when legs come together, like. Yeah, it was just a bit of a coming together. I don't really think he did anything wrong. Yeah. I just think it was just circumstantial, I guess.
Okay, so if you had to pick between B or C, where would it be?
Well, it's gonna have to be C, because then many people are gonna get D's, F's, and U's.
Okay,
but I'd rather keep it in between B and C. But if I have to. Because you know why? Because it's mad, yeah. Because on one hand, you're looking at a game where he could have had like 5 or 6 assists, and then on another hand, you're looking at a game where we didn't win. But if he, who was our best player, is in a C, then the rest of them can't be on a C. They can't join them.
Got you. Stephanie says Bruno deserves a D. Big up Kabuli in the building. Thank you for being here. Big up to you. D is a bit harsh, Stephanie. I'd have to say C. I hear that the C feels like it's also like a little bit of a tough grade for somebody who had a good performance. But okay, now Bali Tech, I hear you. Big up yourself. Let me see if I can bring in other people for the other ones. So hopefully, if you can stick around, and we'll have a group convo at the end. Okay, big up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Peter in the conversation.
Yo.
What up, Peter?
Yo, nothing much, bro. Working.
Okay.
How about you?
Man, I'm gutted we lost yesterday, but we're still third. I looked at the league table. We're still third, so I have to smile.
People are talking like it's the apocalypse, bro. Just move on, bro.
Right.
We lost, bro.
We lost. And
Bye.
if it was a loss to get if there was a time to lose, it was this.
Of course. But I said it yesterday. It's a tough game. Like I always come in with I'm tribal, so I always say 4-0. We'll win 4-0. We'll win 5-0. I don't think
Thank
that,
you.
I want to.
Yes.
I'm tribal, and I said it yesterday. It will be a tough game, bro. And I said they're dogs.
Yes.
If they can maul everybody, bro. Bro, they have South American energy. If you know, you know.
Come on.
Oh, you know. Joelinton. You saw Joelinton. There's a difference yesterday. Tonali and Joelinton versus Kobe and Casemiro. Kobe young, Casemiro old.
You know, Peter, I keep on forgetting that Joelinton is from Brazil too,
He's from Brazil.
Because his name is not like the typical Brazil, you know what I mean? But he played like a grafter yesterday.
Joelinton.
Yeah.
You see Joelinton, he was a striker when he came in. I remember him from Hoffenheim. He was a striker. He needed to survive, bro. You know when you're hungry.
Yeah.
You need to survive. He needed to survive to stay a professional footballer, bro, because he was a dog shit as a striker. So he became a CDM, and he needed to work his ass off to be a CDM, to be a proper CDM. So every time he steps on the pitch, he eats people alive. That's why I respect him. That's why I said in the group chat, the Reckless group chat, a few months ago, I would take Joelinton over Tonali and Bruno. Or Bruno.
Oh, no way. No way.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow,
He's the dog, bro. He's the pit bull. He will eat you.
Nah, Peter.
That's the difference
pull
yesterday,
over,
bro.
pull over.
Casemiro, I love Casemiro. He is the OG. I love him to death. But that's the difference. You see the first goal.
Peter,
You-
Tonali. Are you sure you're taking him over Tonali, bro? Come on, no.
That's what I said a few months ago. I wouldn't take him, of course.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
I said it because we don't have characters in this team. When we miss Licha was the one who was always going into, smashing into people, making tackles.
I agree.
So we miss Licha. We don't have dogs. We don't have people who will come up and they don't care who's at the other side. You see, Tonali is a wonderful player, bro. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Well, if we even have 1% of opportunity to get him, bro. He's the level raiser.
To be honest, Joelinton, Tonali, and Bruno Guimaraes, for me, they're like that rough midfielders. They're not here to play a
They're
game.
dogs.
You
Did
know?
you see Dan Burn yesterday? He made a tackle in the 88th minute, I think it was.
Yeah.
Dan Burn, I think it was.
And he
tackled Mbumo, and he celebrated. Bro, that's not him. That's the influence of Bruno, Joelinton. They injected the South American energy and passion to everybody there. And you see Anthony Gordon, you see Harvey Barnes, you see them going into people, smashing into people, yelling. The same as Licha. If you remember when Onana was here and Rafa Varane was here, you always saw Licha just congratulating people, like going into people. Varane, Onana makes a save, he goes in, chest bumps him.
Yeah.
They bring that energy, bro.
Yeah. No, that South American energy is what we need for sure. So okay, let's get to the players. I will need you to give
1 second.
Let's see.
1 second.
Okay.
I was cooking, so let me 1 second.
Oh, make sure you don't burn.
Okay, I'm in front of my computer now.
What are you cooking?
Bro, I'm on a diet, so I'm cooking some broccoli, unfortunately. And tuna, bro.
What are you saying? What are you saying? What is he saying?
Imagine visiting Peter and he's like, oh, you're here for lunch. Here's a piece of broccoli and some tuna. Ew. Rather ew. Nah, I'm not stopping by for lunch, bro. Or if he says, are you hungry? You're like, no, I'm good. Yeah, I actually just ate. Pan fried broccoli, you know. Nah. I'll take the water. Exactly. I'm like, oh, bro, I'm actually on a diet. Nah, Peter.
Bro, it's Lent. Lent.
Oh, okay.
Our Lent. We
Wait.
don't do meats, bro. It's only vegetables and fruits.
Okay.
So I cannot eat meat for 44 days.
Okay.
You see, any kind of meat. So I need to eat broccoli. I need to eat peas. I need to eat, something to keep me up.
Damn. Okay. All right. So tuna is not considered a protein, I guess, right? It's not like meat.
No, I'm making tuna for my mother because for elder people they can have like fish when they have to. Like, yeah.
But the broccoli is for you.
Bro, broccoli and peas. What can I do, bro? What can I do? I need to eat something. 44 days, like, when my fast ends.
All right. We'll come back to it.
When my fast ends? When we play Leeds on the 13th of April, bro.
Oh, yes, 13th of April. You know what? Yeah, man, over a month to go, but you got this. We're rooting for you. Okay, all right. Let's tell me. Give me a grade for Mbumo. What do you think, Mbumo?
Mbumo C. No, D.
Speak on the D. Pause.
Nah, what's going on? Bring in with deserve better, bro.
How raunchy, says.
You know what? Put Mbumo between D and F.
Yeah, he was one of the
I love him, bro. Like, but what are you doing, bro? Yesterday, I didn't remember the through ball Bruno gave him on his left foot when he needed to smash it just first time.
Mhm.
I forgot that. I only remember the Cunha or who shot it when it was when he skied it.
Yeah, it was
I cannot
Cunha
remember.
who shot that ball. And you know what's crazy for me is the fact that Sesko was free. Sesko asked for the ball before Mbumo's shot. He said, "Just pass to me," right?
Yeah, but those passes, bro. I'll be honest, those passes are only made by, the creme de la creme players.
Yeah, but that
I don't
moment,
think-
everybody's expecting anybody to blast, right? But if your teammate says, "I'm free, give me the ball," before you even,
I don't think he saw him or acknowledged him. I only think he only saw the goal and the ball, bro.
It'll hurt your soul if you watch that replay and see what Sesko.
I watched it.
Oh my
I watched
God.
it.
Sesko was begging for that ball, and Mbuma decides to skyrocket it to Cameroon. But anyway, okay, so
Put
an
in-
F, yeah.
Put in Mazraoui.
Mazraoui, let's see. Wait, where's Mazraoui? We kind of need to go with this order though, because like Mazraoui is somewhere at the back, I think. Okay, give me Lenny Euro.
Lenny. F.
Okay,
DNF with Mbumo. Oh, he had a chance as well. Bruno put it on the plate. 2-1, make it 2-1, end the game. It would have been 3-1, 4-1 if he scored, because they would be more open and with 10 men,
I mean, when
And
you're
then-
heading the ball, bro, to be honest, let's be real. Let's be objective. When you're heading the ball, your first job is to get it on target. 2 is to, put enough head in and a little bit. But like F for just missing that is kind of harsh in my opinion.
Nah, DNF. He was getting cooked as well, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
By who?
By everybody. By Gordon. By Harvey Barnes. By Joelinton.
Okay, I feel like it should be a D.
Bro, the Osula goal, like, I really cannot. If he tried it 50 times, he wouldn't score, bro. Maguire was also blocking Lamens. That goal is 1 of 1. But it is what it is, bro. We move on. Life goes on. The previous manager made me used to losses, bro. He had 18 in the Prem, so I'm used to it. And I can, like, if I was used to wins, I would have taken it badly. But now I'm used to it. I was cool after the game. Like I wasn't angry. But when I saw the Newcastle post, who's the team we call United? They always post.
Yeah.
My head was on Mars, bro.
I
We
know.
let the small club stock like they're big.
Yeah.
Drake said I hate it when bench players talking like starters, bro.
Peter's too funny. Peter's on smoke today. It must be the broccoli. It must be the broccoli and peas, He says Lenny Euro should get an F, but I think it's a D. What do you think? Let me know in the chat. What's your grade for Lenny Euro? Do you think this is a bit too harsh? Wrap Up says Lenny Euro should get a C. Stephanie says a C. Matter of fact, Stephanie goes even further and says Euro and Maguire were our best players. Ob says he's not an attacker, so cut him some slack for not scoring. Euro did nothing wrong. Where do you stand on this? The link is in the chat if you want to call in, by the way. Ob says C. The majority says Lenny deserves a C. Wow. Okay. All right. So maybe we bump Lenny to a C. Let me bring in Wrap Up and let's see. Let's go through some players together. Yo, Wrap Up.
Well, go on.
Wagwan, bro. Wagwan. Let's talk, bro. Let's talk.
So far, how it is fine, yeah. And Bruno deserves an F, bro. He was playing against us, man. Horrendous performance.
To be honest,
Horrendous.
I have no idea what Carrick was thinking. He was like, let me play him into form in this game, because he started it off the game and you could tell he was not.
This loss was coming, though. This loss was coming. That's why I'm not even surprised. I'm annoyed, but this loss was coming.
Okay.
Because we started slow in so many games, and it's continued.
Yeah.
And we got punished this time.
Do you think it's because Carrick is letting the players train to, like, he's lessened the load in training? He's giving them
I
days off.
don't really think that it's that. I just think they were a bit complacent, and it's been creeping in because we've had such a good start.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Complacency is that's
But
a valid excuse, yeah.
Yeah, complacency is a source of weakness, and I think now the loss will wake them up because they looked half asleep. Palace looked half asleep. Everton until later. Oh, yeah.
All right. What grade would you give? So we saw who else? Let's go to Mazraoui, who started. All right.
Mazraoui was okay, but I'll give him a D.
D.
Yeah. Some unnecessary fouls. It wasn't terrible.
Why is Mazraoui not a C?
He was giving away some unnecessary fouls, man.
Okay.
There was some that was smart, and there was some that was too many unnecessary fouls.
Okay, fair enough.
But if something see, I'm not gonna be mad at it. But yeah, because the defense wasn't the issue. I'll be really honest with you. The defense really wasn't the issue yesterday. I'll be really so. If someone says C, fair enough. But this is my personal opinion.
Okay, all right. We'll leave him a D for now. Let's go to. All right, since we've done defense, what about Benjamin Sesko? What do you think about Benjamin Sesko's performance?
I'll be real again, because he didn't get service. It's hard to. I'll give him a D as well.
D.
I can't give him a C because he didn't really affect the game. I have to be honest.
Was he given
It's not his fault.
Game.
He wasn't getting enough service. I'm saying he wasn't really involved in the game. So D, that's the best I can give him. I'm not going to say F because that's not fair.
You know, I feel like he probably. I don't even remember Sesko like receiving the ball in the box. To be honest, you know, when I go through
there you go. But two things can be true. Yes, he needs service, but when you're not getting service, sometimes you need to just involve yourself in the game. Like, just try and get touches of the ball and try and So D, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say F because it's not fair.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, it was a game that was crying for Sesko needed crosses, and in the first half, I think we only crossed.
Where was Mbuma for that? Where was Mbuma with the crosses?
He overhit one. He ignored Sesko. You know,
he turned into Garty, man. He was just doing shin kicking and all sorts. I was like, what's this?
All right. What about Harry Maguire?
C.
Harry Maguire gets a C. Interesting. Why does Harry Maguire get a C and not a D?
Because he was able to battle with Newcastle's strength. Like, he wasn't getting bullied like most of the other players were.
Yeah.
Your face is frozen.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, because he was playing the Lisandro Martinez role, and he played it to the best of his ability. He distributed the ball a few times, but it's not in the same way, not in the Licha type of way.
I'll be really honest with you. The game changed when Xerxes and Ahmad came on. Till then, the tempo was short.
That substitution, matter of fact, should have been the first.
Earlier. Yeah, it should have been earlier.
Xerxes and Ahmad should have been the first substitution to make. The Dallo substitution was a head scratcher. Ugate's substitution head scratcher. You can do that maybe a little.
Casemiro, I don't know. Casemiro again. When he comes off the pitch, we lose. I keep saying this. He's low key the most influential player in our team, and people don't want to admit it.
Okay.
Whenever Casemiro comes off that pitch, we lose.
So, what grade would you give him before I bring in somebody else?
Well, Casemiro, he gets a C as well.
He gets a C.
Nobody's getting more than a C to me.
Yeah. For me, Casemiro feels like it's a D. You know why? There's that decisive moment where, Newcastle get
a penalty.
Yeah.
For the penalty. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. So, yeah, I'm not going to argue with that, but I thought because of his influence in the team, he gets on with it. He recovered from the mistake.
Sure.
And it was, cool. So, DC, whatever. I'm not going to fight you for that. So, whatever.
I hear it. Stick around. Let me bring in men like Cunny since we're on Casemiro. I want to see what he has to say. Guys, kind reminder to hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Thank you so much for being here. This is the match review. This is what we do on this channel, usually after every Manchester United goal. So we're talking about Casemiro, who made a mistake and also made amends. How do you review his performance? C or D? Put your hands together. Hit the like button for Cooking with Connie. Is he cooking?
Cooking with Connie, bro.
He just finished cooking and he's eating.
That's what's up. Replenishments, bro.
Big up,
Gotta
bro.
eat.
Yeah,
what's up, bro? How you doing?
Respect, bro. Yeah, no, I'm good, bro. Casemiro is missing. He's in Joelinton's pocket. Where's your uncle, bro?
Bro, why are you putting him on a D? He needs to be C, bro.
Tell me why.
What? He pull one back. He left the pitch when we're even.
Sure, he made amends. Okay.
Yeah. So what are you talking about? Exactly. He made a mistake in the first half, quite right, and still pulled one back just before halftime.
Okay.
You see, he still left there with his head held high, bro, with a scar. He had battle wounds, bro, when he left that pitch, and we were even and still a man up. Did we have a man up by then? Yeah. Almost, I think. Yeah. And still, so you can't put it on him, bro. Like, put him on a C.
All right. Strong argument. Can't argue with that. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Even though
Joelinton and Tonali were having a good time, bro. Like I was really disappointed in Kobe and Casemiro. Like, I even got that information that these guys, when they meet athletes, they have a hard time.
Yeah, but Cas can walk out with his head high, bro. Like, none of those midfielders scored yesterday. He did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, all the players were having a shit game. Just like Wrap Up said, no one gets above the C. You check. But to put Casemiro D, nah, that's a little bit too much.
I hear you. I can see that one. We put him on C. The spicy one, I want to ask you, Cunha. Where would you put Cunha?
I'll put him between C and D, just with Maguire, because Maguire looks like he's moved a little bit than the others. So I'll put him there because Cunha was taking on his man. Cunha was dribbling, driving. He was our outlet, you know what I mean? Because Mbeumo couldn't take on anybody. He couldn't take on a defender. To a point where by even a rebound from Cunha, almost near open goal, Mbeumo was killing birds. He was bird watching or something, bro. Elon Musk and them all trying to go to space and whatnot. Bro, if there's a person that frustrated me yesterday, was Mbeumo, bro. Like, and you know me, I rally for my peoples, but yesterday, bro, tribe aside, I said, nah. It was horrible. He it was horrible, bro. It was embarrassing to watch, bro. Like that's not the Mbeumo we bought, bro. Like whereby he's failing to even beat a man, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you know how many times? Twice he got a pass that he was running away from the ball.
Yeah. And he got a yellow card for the foul on Lewis Hall. He like there was just like he just didn't look like the exciting signing that we.
Nah, I don't even understand why Carrick kept him on for that long, because that was a sub that needed to be made at halftime with that yellow card. Luke Shaw and that guy shouldn't have come on after halftime because of those yellows. We should have come back at great, no cards, with a lot of aggression, like desire to win, bro. That's what we lacked. That intensity. It was just not until we start, we after 20 minutes, they show Carrick instructing them to get more intensity, to increase the intensity of the game. Players should be able to know how to put the game to bed, when you have a man down, bro. It's embarrassing losing to 10 men, bro.
Yeah.
100%. Quite right. The loss was coming. I understand, but the manner that we lost in is unacceptable. You check. That's the thing. I do understand Carrick had to lose somewhere. We didn't expect, if you're going to see here, say, oh, we should have won all the games. Yeah, we should have won that game. But we were bound to lose sooner or later. Yeah. For me, I'd rather much even lose now. I went to Newcastle, difficult game. I wish that they didn't have a red card so that we can't get bunted. But coming back to Aston Villa, let's see how the bounce back will be. That's where I want to see the character of Carrick, his staff, how he can assert his leadership on these type of players, because we have a lot of characters in that dressing room. And the new manager bounce seems to have to start. We're back to reality. Back to school. Yeah. So we need to see that.
Now we need a manager bounce, not just
now.
The new
exactly
is out.
Is out. Now we need the honeymoon is done. We've come back from Hawaii. The bills are needed to be paid, bro. Like you didn't run away from nothing. Mortgage gotta be paid. God damn.
Kids' school fees around the corner.
Kids' school fees gotta be paid, bro. All the mojitos you're having now, it's like they're reflecting in the bank account.
Can he pay the school fees though? Let me see what the poll is saying. Okay. Do you think Carrick is ready to be permanent manager for United? 62% of the people say yes, give him the job still.
I'm one of those. Actually.
Okay.
Plenty of people don't review themselves after a poll when they are on the mains. I just say I voted yes.
Yes. Okay. Nice.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
I like it,
bro. You should call out people who are on the mains. Like, what did you vote? You know what I mean?
Thank you for that reminder. I need to do that. So while we're still on Carrick, what grade would you give him? Did he prepare the team for a win? Did he coach a win or a draw, or how did he?
No. I mean, it's hard for Carrick. I saw for him to bench Dalot, I saw a little bit of creativity and somebody that can see a player like in Mazarawi, like, oh, this is a much better player outlet and I can trust him. I see that he can make those kind of decisions. That's impressive. I think he coached a win, but he failed to tactically execute it. He failed the in-game execution of that win. The first lineup, it's cool, it's easy, you make it because it's been working, But now when it's not working, do you have the cojones to go in the dressing room and say, the next half of the game, you are not going in, you've been trash? Because everybody could see that Mbeumo, I think give him 10 more minutes, he was going to get a red card. He was close.
Yeah.
He was playing as if he's a defender, bro. Like he was erratic, he was everywhere. Everything just wasn't working out on that right wing. It was not. And we all saw that. Carrick should have seen that. His so-called mastermind assistant should have seen it. What's his name? Holland.
Yeah.
Exactly. They should have seen that. They should have made that change early. Because just like Rapap said, when Joshua Zexi and Ahmad came in, the tempo of the game changed. We became more threatening. We moved the ball a little bit quicker. You know, Bruno had people he could play off. Cunha also could get a breather out there because the only place where the ball was sticking was the left wing. The right wing, nothing was running there. So Carrick should, I would put him on a, I'll put him next to Cunha. I'll put him next to Cunha.
Ooh, that's a
I'll put
D.
him. No, it's in between C and D, just like Cunha has, because he did have the guts to bring in Mazarawi, which every one of us would have picked to get Mazarawi over Dalot, I think, for now, because we wanted that change, and he did that, and he kept Sesko on, who's on form. He did that. He didn't revert to that old tried and tested, like now, like, oh, let me bring Ahmad, you know what I mean? So he still kept to his guns, which is a good sign for a manager, because he shows a little bit of a tinkering. You know, he can work with the tactics. So I think, and he also has won so many games. You know, 10 unbeaten games. I mean, you can't just really get him to the Fs and whatnot. He did coach a win, but he failed to execute it. So I'll give him a C.
I wanna circle back on this thing, because your take has ruffled some reactions here. They're saying,
of course, bro,
can't say he coached a win when he couldn't execute. Joe, Bali Tech, some people are responding. SLD
all those, listen, okay, all those tell him to shut up.
No, I want to bring him in.
Shut up, what are you talking about? No, we can have a conversation, bro.
Exactly, let's have a conversation about it. Don't misquote me. Listen, Joe, don't misquote me. I did not say, okay, what I said is that he picked a lineup that any one of us wanted to see, you know, and that lineup should have won that game. But he failed to execute. His in-game execution failed. I say this. I do not give him no grace.
Here's my rebuttal. Here's my rebuttal to what you have said, yeah? Let me just say this, yeah? So, first of all, the only thing I will give him credit for is the fact that he picked a team that you said that none of us could argue with. But the only reason we can't argue with it is because we have nothing else. So, he's limited to what he can choose and put out into the pitch every single week, right? So, fair enough with that. But the team he picked, yeah, cool. Nobody I think had any complaints, yeah. Apart from maybe we would have maybe dropped Luke Shaw instead. I don't know. Some opinions, innit, yeah. But all I'm trying to say is this: you can't say he coached a win, yeah, when he couldn't even see that Mbeumo needed to come off, bro.
But that's where it comes to what I said about his failure to the in-game management. That I criticized him. I clearly say that. He failed on the in-game.
And what someone said it in the chat as well, yeah, bro. How can you say that he coached the win when we never looked like winning? We never looked like winning in that game. Let's be honest.
I said he picked a team that was able to win, not coach the win. Stop putting words in my mouth.
No, I'm saying in the chat, somebody said we never looked like winning, bro. So how could he have coached a team to win? You know what the funny thing is, bro? In the last 3 games, here's my point, right? Last 3 to 4 games, we've been playing just like this. And the reason why I said the loss has been coming is because we can't keep playing the way we've been playing and expect to get results out of every single game. We've actually been playing poor in the last 3 games against lesser opposition. Finger air quotes in a minute, yeah, because lesser opposition we've been struggling against, bro, yeah, and we've not been putting in the performances that we did against the Arsenal and the Man Cities of this world. And it's not just because they're sitting back, no, because last night them man weren't sitting back. Even when they went down to 10 men, they weren't sitting back. They were attacking.
Yeah,
so
but besides, but besides not playing good, we still got results out of those games, which is what we've been crying for this team. We've been crying for us. We turn up when it's the big teams. We always used to say Man U turns up when it's these big games. It's a derby, it's a rivalry. But when it comes to these lesser teams, finger air quotes in the air, excuse me, we fail to turn up. We fail, and that's where we lose most of the points. But flip side, now we're doing that while playing bad and still getting a result. What are we talking?
But bro, that's only, you know what, yeah, let's face it, yeah, you want those kind of games like once every 5 games or once every 10 games, to get me, where you're not playing well, but you can still pull out a result. You don't want it 3 games on a trot. That means you're just not playing well, but managing to secure a victory. So it's all a result. You get me? Because there's been a couple of losses, draws in there as well.
Well, that's what I meant on KG's channel, but I was in bin because people do not understand wordplay. So yeah,
Say it again, Peter. How did you?
we learn lessons while winning. And people didn't understand it. How are we learning lessons while winning? Well, I'll give you an example. When I landed my first client at work, my boss called me and he said, "Congrats, but we still need to work on this. Still need to work on that. Still need to work on that." And if you're losing and you're not learning your lessons, you'll get fired. That's what I said, but people do not understand.
But you're not allowed to.
If you'd have said that, then maybe people would have understood. You didn't say that on KG.
I said it. We were losing. We were losing and learning lessons, but we didn't learn anything. Now we're winning and we're learning something. And Buemo, could get better. Ahmad could get better. Everybody could get better, but we're still winning. People will, like, from a mental standpoint. If I win, but someone tells me, "Yo, you need to improve this," I would take it, gladly. But if I lose and someone says, "Yo, you're shit," but improve this, bro, I'm already down, bro. Stop bringing me down.
I hear it. I want to ask the same question.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Wrap up. I want to ask the same question that I asked Kani to Young Papi. Welcome to the building, Young Papi, and welcome, Doctor. But Young Papi, did Michael Carrick coach a win yesterday?
Say that one more time, sorry.
Did Michael Carrick, as a manager, did he coach for a win yesterday? Did he set the team up to win?
From the start, I guess maybe from the start, everybody's always gonna try to coach a VM, but the in-game management wasn't looking Vinish, if you get what I mean. It wasn't so much, the starting lineup. Obviously he expects a VM from his team, whoever he starts, but with the in-game management, like what everybody's been saying, Bremo had a bad game. Why not take him off a bit earlier, even if it was halftime, whichever. So that's where he didn't really look like he was gonna win it from, damn little decisions right there, the in-game, not necessarily from the start, but yeah, if you get what I mean.
I hear it. So he's not really like a killer type of manager. You know what a killer manager does? What Oba King is talking about. Second half starts, you see Ahmad coming on, you see Xerxes coming on. That's a decisive manager that acts on, doesn't take time to let the game settle, let the player maybe pick up his form or whatever. He sees the evidence, he reacts to the evidence. And we can talk about it as a player, why I subbed you off. But I saw you 20 minutes. It was not good. By the 40th minute, I decided you're coming off, And to be honest, that game for me, we were talking about it in the preview that we should have actually put Sesko on the bench. It's easy to say this. I acknowledge it's easy to say this in hindsight. But that type of game, you want the blueprint that you had versus Arsenal and versus Man City. You want that.
I see what you mean. There is basically don't fix anything that's not broken, on it.
Yeah. How many crosses?
Let's be fair, though.
How many passes did he receive? Let's
be fair, though. Everybody's asking for Sesko to start.
Everybody, of course, but as a manager now, you have to also look at the opposition and make the call. You make the final call. The fans will tell you this. Steve Holland will tell you this.
Agreed.
This. I'm sure they all had varied opinions on what's the best way forward, but Michael Carrick has the final call to make the big decision.
What's that noise? What's going on?
Audio is moving mad. I don't know.
I think Papi's in the car. Boats. Just like everybody, just like Rapap is saying, everybody asked for Sesko. What we're saying is that when we notice that Sesko is having less touches, even in the last game where he scored the winner, he had 7 touches in the least touches in the whole game, bro. Mm-hmm. So when you see that your striker is not getting involved, you need to change things up so that the players can involve him. You can't continuously whipping crosses that are not reaching the striker. Then maybe change it. Float the pass, float the crosses. instruct them to hit low crosses or something. You know what I mean? You have to be
But
able to change it tactically in order to involve him.
But you know what?
Because
Sesko was benefiting off before. He was benefiting off tied defenses from the first front line. The fluid front line was tiring the defenses out. He would come on and mash work. That's it. That's what was happening.
Because
not every game.
Those defenders yesterday, they were being very physical with him as well. So my fear for Sesko yesterday was, I think there was a period early on in his Man United career where I thought he was a bit of a pussy. He was a bit soft and things like that. He would get a little bump and then he wouldn't want no smoke. He would go into his shell. There was a period where I think he came off injured and I thought, is this guy injured? Like I was so annoyed. I just thought maybe he's being a bit soft.
I remember
I know earlier
this couple games ago, like, and then he sat out like a game or 2 or 3 or something like that.
And I know earlier you said something about, you asked young Pappy if he felt like the coach coached the win, and his response was, well, in the beginning, yeah, but his in-game management. I'd argue that from minute one of that game, when it started, the start was diabolical. The whole first half was diabolical. We come into the second half, we came in diabolical. Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, he could have never coached a win if we never looked like winning. Not at any stage of the game. I was like, yeah, Newcastle are in trouble. Like I was thinking, rah, Newcastle's actually going to win this game.
Yeah.
And I was even saying to a few man that I have a feeling that we ain't going to be able to come back.
Look at Chad's
They
comment.
dominate the second half with 10 men.
Yeah, that's what is embarrassing about it. That's the embarrassment about it.
Getting outnumbered in the middle against 10 men is crazy.
But we always knew that. Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi, everyone.
What's up, Doug?
We always knew that Newcastle's midfield was top tier, you know? So being dominated in the midfield is just something else. You know, it's like we always knew this would happen. And I kind of agree with Peter made a statement earlier on, and I feel like that's how we should always be. We should always go in thinking. He said he's tribalistic or something like that.
Yes.
Predicting a win is what we expect.
Yes.
We're going to expect winning all the time. Even I said 3-1, 2-1 or whatever. But I'm not surprised we were beaten by Newcastle, because even the last time we played them at Old Trafford, that 1-0 was we scored that 1-0 and double scored that goal, and we defended for our lives. They were lucky not to get a point from that game. The thing with Newcastle is they're athletes, and I'm just here to agree with a lot of the statements that were made today. That they're athletic. We have an aging Casemiro in midfield, a Bruno that's gonna try, and a whole bunch of young kids who are just running around.
So, after you say what you're gonna say, I want you to give Kobe Mainoo the grade, because finish what you're gonna say.
Yeah, so
your countrymen.
Your countrymen.
I love
the building.
I love Kobe. You don't know, as much as he plays for it kills me he plays for England. Wow. Yesterday, quite, because I watched the replay, and it was hard to watch, you know. It was very hard to watch. I'm like, oh my god. You know, it's like I feel like some of them were running around like headless chickens. And Wemo, I have my eye on you, because since you came from AFCON, it's been like, what the hell? Him and Ahmad have been questionable, you know. So but I'm gonna give Kobe a D, because it wasn't working out. He has to do better, a lot better than yesterday, you know. And I know he almost scored, but we didn't win the game or even get a point from it, you know. Almost doesn't like give you excuses. You should have scored. Euro should have scored. And Bournemouth should have scored. Sesko should we could have won that 4-1. But you know what? I'm not mad at this whole situation because the loss was coming. It's how yesterday I said it's how Carrick and the team react in the next game. You know?
Hey yo, young
So,
Tucky, you got to turn your
we have-
microphone down. At time.
Yeah. So our next game is versus who again? Is it Brighton?
Yeah, we'll
Isn't it Villa?
We'll talk.
Villa.
Oh, it's Villa. It's Villa. Now they already beat us last time. Again, kind of similar to yesterday. We are fighting for third place at this point. We can get at them. Villa yesterday versus Chelsea, they lost. They scored the first goal and capitulated. So we have hope. I feel like Carrick. I know we're going to talk about it later, at a later date, but we just have to win that. It's a non-negotiable. Paul Scholes, can these former players?
We'll conclude.
They
We'll
can
end
go-
with the Pulse goals. We'll go back to that.
Oh,
one.
okay.
Let's
Okay.
finish the reading.
No,
But
I have to go though.
Big up.
I
Big
have
up.
to go right now, but
Yeah,
I just want to say this about Paul Scholes. They should just keep quiet and do your podcast. Be more. Somebody said, be more like Bruno Fernandes. He's doing his own thing on YouTube. I don't know why you always want to throw shade at people. You know, because you're not
Because
looking
he's
good.
jealous.
Be like other football players, United players. Have we heard anything about Ryan Giggs saying anything about anything? Then again, Ryan Giggs is questionable. You know, Bastian Schweinsteiger stayed here for 2 years. Nothing. What?
You got
Oh my
Ryan
God.
Giggs, he bust Cage.
Yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Hold on.
What happened there?
Yeah, no. Dog did have mic drop and said, "Paul Scholes."
Okay.
I said what I wanted to say to you, and I'm out. But big up, Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with a lot of what Dog said. But the point that one of the things that she brought up was the Kobe Maino shot that could have gone in. I really liked that Kobe showed us that he has that in his skill set. You know, that was a really good, well taken shot with technique. You know, it was just unfortunate.
Yeah, but boys, also that may be shot that you're praising right now. We can also, play devil's advocate here. Kobe also showed us that he can displace passes. Bro, he was horrible.
Sure.
That game. He was terrible, bro. He was terrible. I don't even understand.
But like everybody had a bad game. Everybody had a bad game, apart from the defenders.
You don't think it was his worst game under Carrick?
Yeah, probably. But I'm saying everybody had a bad game.
Sure.
Everybody had a bad game. Now, if we're going to talk about misplaced passes, then what about Mbuemo, and what about fucking what's his name that was playing next to when Ugarte came on and started doing wrestling again. He did some good tackles.
Funny, yeah. Funny you mentioned some of the subs. Okay, Joe, give us your rating of Ugarte then.
Ugarte average. He actually gets a C for me. He came on. He made some clutch tackles. I don't know why.
He was okay. He was okay.
Like D. Like he didn't do anything bad. Like he came on. Yeah, he played okay.
Joe is right. Looking at the time he had as well and what he did.
Yeah,
you judge him
For the
from
time
that time frame.
right.
I can't judge him for the time he wasn't on the pitch. The time he was on the pitch, he actually helped out a bit. So we see average. He did. He came in. He made some
for his
clutch
time
tackles.
limit. Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
At least there was somebody who was able to run for the ball from midfield, so he did that.
Agreed.
Joe's right.
Agreed. There's only a few people for me that actually get a C today. Yeah,
What
rest
about
of
the
them would actually get
goalkeeper?
C.
So, what about the goalkeeper? Start with the
Goalkeeper.
C as well.
I don't know why you're going so far up, bro. It's not going there, bro. You need to go further down. Like it's probably a C/. I'm being generous. I'm going to say C
In
as
the
well.
middle, yeah, like that. But the goal wasn't his fault, though.
Yeah, so I'm going to say
That was the
C.
one
Actually.
strike.
I don't think he deserves to be in the D category at
Yeah,
all.
the
I'm
C.
saying fully in C. No hanging over.
Fully in C.
Yeah.
Just fully in C. I agree with that as well.
Okay. What about Karel Malacia?
Well, this guy, I've been screaming for him to play for days, and then he comes on, and then he just he tackled a ghost. He was like 20 meters away from the guy he was supposed to be tackling, bro. Malacia, bro, you let me down, man.
Hey, I was quiet yesterday.
Malacia came in
I was
cold. I felt
disappointed in
sorry
the
for
fact
him,
that
man.
he was even back.
Guys, leave my boy Tyrell with the glasses, guys. Come
Bro,
on.
I was calling for his name, but how many matches have I been saying, where's Malacia? How many
He should be
times?
with his best friend, bro, Quincy Promise. He should be with him.
Leave him alone. Do you know what? Yeah, I've been an advocate for seeing Malacia again, yeah, and then he does that last night, man. I know he only got a few minutes, but the few minutes were bad.
He only got a few minutes, and he hasn't been playing football at the senior level for a long time. Let's give him some grace, guys. Like this kid, I know he's not what we need or what.
That's the
Give
great.
him a C for the time he was there, bro. He ran around.
Bro, he can't get a C. He can't get a C, bro. I'm sorry. I love the kid, but he can't get a C, bro.
Yeah.
He cannot.
Yo,
Sorry.
you didn't see the ghosts he was tackling, bro. Some people can see things.
Apparently, when you're playing,
Exactly. He was seeing the 12th man in the pitch, man. He was like, that's why we lost.
Yeah, he thought they still had 10 men. He still thought they had 11 men on the pitch. That's what he thought, bro.
Listen, Malacia was moving like that drunk uncle at the barbecue.
Yeah.
Wait. He's like, where's Jacob Ramsey? He should be here. I'm tackling Jacob Ramsey.
He was tackling in the zones, bro. Zone notes, bro.
Oh god.
There should be a player here.
All right. Ahmad came on the pitch. Ahmad also came on the pitch. What are we saying about Ahmad's performance? Kani, what are you saying?
C. He gets in between because, bro, he came. The game changed. He brought in some intensity there on the right side, something that Mbeumo couldn't do for the longest, bro. He was taking on players. You could see that they were getting worried. They were now trying to double him down, bro. They gave Mbeumo one guy, bro, because Mbeumo was messing up on his own, bro. You know how bad that was, bro. So now we can give him a C. Let him get in the C with that, because the time he had wasn't that much, but you could see that if he had at least 5 more minutes, he could have sparked something. You know.
Okay. One of the players that started, Luke Shaw. Come on.
But he got injured. No, I didn't get injured this match. Sorry.
Yellow card.
He played an hour and had he was facing Anthony Alanga was cooking Luke Shaw, guys. Did you?
But guys, let's just face it. Luke Shaw was being cooked. That's why he got the yellow and all that. Luke Shaw
I agree with Pav.
was being cooked. Yeah.
It's a D.
A match like that, this is a seasoned profession. He should know not to get booked. He should behave himself on a game like this.
You can't not get booked, bro. Sometimes you get booked on purpose if you're playing a good match. You know what I mean?
But Elanga was just showing Luke Shaw that it's
Elanga was doing step overs like he's Robinho, bro.
Step
overs like he's Robinho, bro. Elanga. Bro, Elanga's dad lives. Bro, Elanga's dad lives a couple of blocks away from here where I live, bro. Like, what are you saying? There's no way to start behaving like,
bro.
Doesn't change the fact he's shit, bro.
Yeah.
Did you see those step overs he was doing of Luke Shaw?
Yeah, that's
apparently he started feeling ill again.
Prime Robinho on Luke Shaw.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Elanga's dead.
Okay.
He can run merchant. That's it.
What about
he did 10 step overs and still didn't beat his man? I was like, God damn.
Diogo Dalot had about 30 minutes in the game. How did he do? Let's see. Who hasn't wrap up? What do you say about Diogo Dalot?
He had about 30 minutes, you say?
Yeah, he played 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I even forgot. Dalot
Dalot,
came on.
I'm not even sure, man.
I can't
I
remember
forgot he
him coming
played,
on.
man.
I forgot he played, man.
He came on for sure, innit?
He came on for sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
okay,
Mazarawi came to the
season.
left side and they swapped. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but he was, but for Dalot,
season.
I would say for Dalot, I'll say why he even disappeared, because that right hand side was more being run by Ahmad. So he was looking probably good, because as soon as Ahmad came on the right hand side,
Ahmad was also finding defenders.
Yeah, so Ahmad also can track back, so we can't really blame. The right side started looking good, so you can put him in between where Carrick is, I think. I don't know what the guys think, but I would say in between a C and a D. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah. It's weird because, like, here's this take, guys. Here's this perspective that I was just thinking about when we're looking about Mboma was shit, but let's also remember that the fullback that was behind him was Mazraoui, and Mazraoui and Dalot behave differently. Dalot gives you width. Mazraoui is not the type of width type of player. He actually likes to tuck in and invert, and part of the reason why, I'm not saying this is the reason why Mbuma was shit, but a part of the reason why he was shit is sometimes he was trying to dribble two players when he should be really trying to dribble one player and then getting the shot off or getting the pass off. There was that. Of the fullback.
But it's not going to hold any water, bro. That guy was failing to even control a first touch, bro. To be honest, how do you explain that?
I agree with you.
You know, Cunha, Dorga, Bruno, people was calling for that during the game, so that's all it is. Just the backing of the next player. Like, that's all Butts is pretty much saying with Bremer. He didn't have the backing of the next player to have a 1-2 pass, and then probably when he did, he didn't give it the chance. Once he did have that, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I hear. Okay.
And Bremer wasn't doing the basics. That's why I was so rattled by his performance.
The basics were lacking, bro. Like it hurt because it was just like, wait, is this the player that we signed? Like what's going on? But I guess everybody is allowed to have a bad day. It was a bad day at the office for Mbuma. So
I mean, at the end of the day, this is only one loss. Yes, it was a bad performance with the loss, but it was one loss.
Yeah,
I wouldn't lose my hairline over it. Like,
yeah.
You know why it feels a bit worrying, young puppy? Yeah, it's because of the last few games.
Yeah, I agree with
you. Yeah, that's my thing.
Then you look at it on another side.
The performance the last 2 games hasn't been good.
But you look at every other team in the league who's everybody's had a shit season this year.
Yeah, but you know what? You can't really look at that when you're judging your team.
Even Arsenal. If you got an Arsenal fan who's actually happy with the way that they're playing, yes, they're impressed. But if they're actually happy with the way they're playing, they don't actually follow football. They just like to troll. That's all. That's real.
But young puppy, we have to worry about our story, right?
No,
we have to worry about our.
That's why I said I'm not comparing it to anything. However, let's not overreact. That's all I'm getting at. That's not overreact.
I'm gonna say something right now.
No, we're gonna end up like we're all gonna be post-goals of the situation, and then we're all gonna be looking like haters. But you want to see the team do good, but we're gonna be hating on the team as we want it to do good. You gotta make it make sense at the end of the day too, like, you know.
I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah. Under the last management, under the last management, yeah, we said a lot of the time that. Well, I said a lot of the time. No. Just listen to what I'm saying. It's about the league, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that I said that he was benefiting from the other teams playing shit, basically. Yeah. That's why I thought we was in a certain position under the last manager. Yeah. Not necessarily because we were playing well, but because everybody else around us were playing crap. Yeah. Now the new manager comes in and we start winning games on the bounce. Yeah. Now. Whether or not the team was playing shite or not, we were still getting results, right? Now, we can't now turn around and go, oh, watch, everybody else is playing shit. So, we expect to have some shit games. I kind of don't agree with that. Like, we should be the people that, we don't have to be, but obviously you want to be the team that's consistently just doing at least 6s or above in every game, or 7s and above in every game, innit? Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't.
set the standard. I hear it saying set the
Yeah.
standard.
Yeah, we don't want to be just everybody's doing shit, so it's okay that we've been playing shit for the last couple of games. No, it's not okay. It's not okay, and it's not sustainable. Because once everybody starts figuring out what they've been doing wrong, are we still going to be the same team that can't even get started in the first half? That's the problem. We can't even get a game match started in the first half. We always come out second half, and if second half don't happen, guess what? This happened.
We lose.
It's been like that for years.
This is the problem, bro. This is the fundamental problem. We can't even say it's a manager thing. I guess this is where we can never decide. Who to. Sorry, just let me finish this. We can never decide as a fan base who to turn to and go, you was at fault. Because you know what? Or the manager was so shit. Because we're always looking at the players going, these guys have been doing this shit for fucking years, bro. When is it going to change? Yeah? Mentality. But yeah, that's my sentence done.
But you know, this not actually highlights. You know, this not actually highlights. We need a squad. We need a squad. Not the same 13 players playing every time. That's why we're getting these performances.
We have 14 players, bro. So
that's what I'm
we need
saying.
Champions League. We need more games. We lose physicality because we play once in 14 days. They're not match ready.
Yeah, but surely they should be doing something about that. They know they're playing one game a week, innit? Yeah. So as the coach, as the management staff, you should be like, all right, lads, we're not playing a game this on Wednesday. Guess what we're doing this Wednesday? I don't know. Call up fucking Hull City and say, yo, you guys want a game behind closed doors? Do you understand me?
Exactly.
Let's do it.
Even if you have to play the unders or whatever, just get a football game going.
But the intensity is not the same, bro.
It's because the standards have been dropped. And also, yes, we do need a squad going forward, but we don't need a massive squad for one game a week. That's why I think these brothers have actually dropped their standards. And I do blame Carrick here because they had intense training and now they've dropped the intensity of the training and they've brought that into the matches. In my opinion, they've brought
exactly. That's the annoying part. That's the annoying part, bro. You just hit the nail because look, even when we are a man app, you know, the intensity we can't even switch on to like up the intensity of the game where we run them down, we move the ball quicker. They're still like in Dubai having holidays. I don't get it, bro. Like it's annoying. No, for real. Like that it took 20 minutes into the second half that Carrick started like giving intensity instructions to like up the level of intensity. You're telling me those men, seasoned professionals, could not find a way to up their own level of intensity within the game and find a way to break down a 10-man Newcastle? That's worrying. And that's just being.
Go ahead. Finish your point.
No, you can go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, well, you know, by the way, Dubai is not the best place for vacation right now. But I want
but that's what I mean, bro. Lenny Yoro was right.
I want to wrap up.
They go there they pretend they're going to go and do the warm training when they're in the mall buying Louis Vuitton, Gucci bucket hats and all that shebang. We know what they're doing.
100%. I want to get rid of this screen, but I want to get rid of it after rating two people first. One, Joshua Zirkzee, who was probably the best attacker, the best sub, in my opinion. He tried to make things happen, and I'd probably put him closer to the C side than D. Right?
You can't get a B.
B, where you go?
He was our
this
best
guy,
player, bro.
you saw Joe. You saw how he tried to sneak him in the back door and get him close to the
Nobody gets higher than the C. Nobody gets higher than the C, but Joshua Zirkzee had a good cameo, man.
I mean, he gets closer to the B because of the
Joshua Zirkzee had a good cameo.
Yeah, he did a good cameo. I think we need to find a way to put him in the squad more to give him some more minutes as well.
Right.
Yeah.
That shot, I thought that was going in. I thought that shot he took was going in. I was like,
where did he pull it off from, bro?
Joe, the technique, is that the only person I saw do those ones was Ronaldo in free kicks. Those were dead balls as well. Yeah. But the way he hit this one, it went up and down. It was coming down. Yeah. I was like, Joshua,
Ramsdale actually had a good game, and that shot for me, like I was just like, ooh.
That boy is playing like prime Van der Sar, man. Irritating.
Yeah.
Realistic Red is asking. I get that the team lost, but what did he do wrong? He didn't do anything wrong, but he didn't do anything that great. Obviously, he took the shot. He didn't go in. So C average, isn't it? See, if C is the average, I think he did average. I mean, he did slightly better than average for the time that he had on the pitch. That's why I'm saying he kind of leans into B, but he cannot get a full B. Surely.
C is not even the average because B and B don't exist for that game.
Half and half.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, C is the best
you
player.
can put
This is the best they could do. You know what I mean? The average is a D. The average is a D.
For this game, yeah.
The average D.
For this game, yeah, bro. For this game, we eliminate A and B. They don't exist. The best players played C going back to Mbeumo.
I thought the average D is 5 inches, bro.
Oh, get out.
Get out. Get him out.
Red card.
Red card, bro. Red card.
Shout to Caesar.
That's hilarious.
You're the last person I thought to hear that from, Peter. I'm disappointed.
Bro, and then Botswana goes to play. Shout out to Caesar. It wasn't funny. You're supposed to give him the side eye. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? Did you enjoy that comment that much?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
That's
Yo, Joe, you better check your co-host, man. He's out here trying to make us look bad.
I pressed the wrong one. But
I was like, it's both serious. Shout out to Caesar. Bro. Shit.
Anyway.
Yeah. Wait, what were we talking about before? What were we talking about before that?
We're talking about the average score on the sheet today.
The average,
no A's, no B's, no A's or no B's. Because I kind of agree with Kenny. I think if I'm being honest with you, the best the player could get from that match is a C, 100%.
Yeah.
So, you know, a high C. You get a high C for Gertzy, but you can't get anything else, man. It was a terrible game to watch.
Oh yeah. The topic that I said we'll get back to at the end of the show. Paul Scholes was not out of line. Wait,
he was out of line.
Scholes was out of line, but he was not wrong, says Realistic Red.
Okay, can I start? Can I start?
Paul Scholes. You know all getting done.
Yeah, go, Kanye. Go.
Paul Scholes has been a clout demon for his podcast. He's using all of us. He's been a clout demon for his podcast.
It's so disappointing. If that's what he's doing, he's done a good job because we're actually talking about him now. But what he doesn't seem to understand is that he is literally messing up his status as a legend at this club. You know, the beloved legend. You know what I mean? You can still be the legend that he was. You will never take away what he achieved. But he's slowly becoming this person you don't even want to see on the screen anymore. You know, like as soon as I see Paul Scholes, I think we need to normalize shutting up these so-called legends, bro. Because I've never seen Maldini on TV in like 8 years or something like that.
But
I've never seen.
They're jealous, bro.
Bro, why is our legends are the only? Do they love money so much, bro, that they have to parade themselves for national broadcasts just to get peanuts? How broke are they, bro? What's going on? I don't get it, bro.
I don't like that.
They're jealous of Carrick, man.
You might have to understand it's not jealousy. You might have to understand it's not jealousy. If somebody gives you a contract and says, I'm going to give you this money in advance, but I own you.
Yeah,
because that's the problem with all of these men. Yeah, they're not in charge. Yeah, they're only being brought up. Why is it only Manchester United? Yeah, that disparage their own club. It's not a coincidence that we got a bag of man that's lining up to do that. Now, from what I've seen, yeah, the Liverpool, everybody who's played for Liverpool, they blow off Liverpool in the media. They blow them off nicely. But Man United now, we get thrown under the bus. Yeah, this is by design. It's not that these brothers want to do it. It's just that these men are trying to pay their bills. That's what you man have to understand.
Okay, this has got nothing to do with his bills, though. This is an Instagram post, bro. He didn't have to do it. He's sitting at home watching the game.
Yeah, but it's all gonna go back. It's promotion back to the thing that he's been doing, which is throwing Man United under the bus.
This 1 point, because they didn't do this when it came to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, bro. They kept their mouths fucking quiet, even when Ole was doing shit. All of these legends had their mouth stomped. Guess what? They're
jealous of Carrick.
Bro, I'm telling you, they're getting paid to do this stuff.
Yeah, but if they were getting paid to do this stuff, why didn't they do it?
Two things can be right. Two things can be right, right? Two things can be right. Yes, they're being paid. They're being paid. But also, why are they allowing themselves to be paid? That's what I'm asking. How broke are they, bro?
Talk shit about the club who made you.
This is the thing. When you stop playing, when you're getting mad money weekly and you stop playing, you ain't getting paid the way you was getting paid before. That's why these men are in a sticky situation. Do you think these men will want to be tarnishing their legends like that?
But bro, you're talking as if like Paul Scholes is moving like
not working construction,
Scholes can get a deal with Adidas by just doing some ads and whatnot. You don't have to twerk for Sky Sports, bro. I don't want to see.
Yeah, but maybe that deal with Adidas never came. Maybe the deal never came. Maybe he waited and the deal never came. And then he said, "All right, cool.
We're gonna
I'll disparage Man United."
We don't even want to talk about the P's, bro, because look, we all know that. Okay, let's talk about someone like Gary Neville, bro. Yeah, very critical, very opinionated, right? He never said one fucking dirty word about fucking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in tenure, right? But he deliberately even opened his mouth. Hold on, he even opened his mouth and said, "I'm not going to say anything because he's my brethren." Well, he's getting paid, but he still didn't say a bad word. They're picking and choosing what they want to say. So it's in his heart what he said last night, bro. It's not a matter of, oh, he's doing it because he's getting paid, bro. He was sitting at home on his own Insta and they said, boom, I'm sending this because boom, this is how
I'm sending this.
Boom, I don't care how nobody else feels about it. This is my opinion. If this is opinion, fair enough, innit? But all I'm saying is it doesn't matter about the pay, bro. They pick and choose when and what they want to say because they're allowed to do that, even if they're getting paid. Yeah?
You have to remember, Joe, you're right. You're right, though.
Conversation, Coley. What's your take
What's
on
good?
this?
What's good, Coley? What's up?
Well going, everyone. Yeah, I think Joe, you're right. You're right. What's good? I think Joe's right. He's on the right tracks. I just think people have to remember, these lot, like if you went and stuck your head,
is stinky. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just move. I think it keeps hitting on something.
You see, Roy Keane. Has Roy Keane ever talked shit about Oli? No. Why is he talking shit about Michael Carrick? Why is he talking shit about Michael Carrick, Roy Keane?
I think you might need to.
SLD is tripping. Go back and come back in the studio, maybe.
Yeah, 1 second.
Now, Peter, you see, the thing is that Oli was their guy. Oli was that guy. Oli was that guy that they all like. Maybe it's because he never spoke Norwegian. The Norwegian that's quiet, just humble. They all liked him. Maybe that's why. Oli. They all like Oli. They refuse to even say anything or criticize the man. You check.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
I have a theory with Roy Keane. He's jealous of Michael Carrick. He took his number, he took the armband, and he continued. And he continued what he left. And he thought he was
exactly. And now he's even the
there's something about there's a rumor about something about that's
What's the rumor? Hurry up and say it.
What's the rumor?
Yeah, it involves like the partners feuding or something like that, or that.
Well, that was 10 years ago.
12 years ago. Responded in 2012. Yeah,
bro.
So there's
2026, bro.
but this all started. But this all started with Roy King. This all started with Roy King criticizing Michael Carrick like publicly again.
Yeah.
Over a game.
Yeah, for his interview.
Oh, that performance was as flat as his interview. Yeah, because apparently Roy Keane, Michael Carrick was giving a post-match interview after a game, right? And then Roy Keane was a pandit, and then he goes to respond by saying, "Oh, his response, his interview was as flat as that performance." So obviously, Michael Carrick's missus went and said like, "You just bitter" or something on Twitter, and deleted it. But
we lost 2-0 to Olympiacos, and he came out after the match and did the interview, and they asked him, "Do you believe that you will beat them on aggregate and go through?" He said yes, and then he went in and done it. Robin van Persie hat-trick. I don't know if you remember. So what's wrong with bro? Like Roy Keane is a
there's
fragile
just a
man,
certain
bro. He's a fragile man.
I don't know. Coley's back. Let's hear what you have to say.
Let's see.
What's good, boys? Can you hear me better now?
Much better.
All right, cool. So I was just gonna say, like, very much a lot like in line with what Joe was saying. You don't have to remember back in the day, these were pricks to each other. Like they weren't nice to each other. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you was a fly on the wall in our changing rooms, people weren't mincing words. If someone had a shit game, they were getting ruined for it. Like Cristiano when he turned up, bare stepovers and you're falling over the floor. People are not your friend. Like they're not telling you in a nice, constructive way. Like you're getting kicked, you're getting told like disrespectfully. I was reading recently the story about him and Rude. Like when you like the way that actually played out, and when you got like man said something deep to him, like the week his dad died, and like you remember all these milestones separately in it, but like you don't realize how close they were together. Apparently, the week his dad died, Rude turned around and said something to him in training about, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Go cry to your daddy because I won't pass you." He was talking about, but he weren't talking about his actual dad. He was talking about because obviously Carlos
Queiroz,
yeah. He was like his guy, innit? And obviously for obvious reasons, that's who he was talking about. And apparently he didn't even know that Cristiano's dad was ill. So it was just the wrong thing to say at the wrong time, innit? But that's my point. Like, if you showed weakness back then, and this class, you can't show weakness to be one of them. Like, so when someone loses, when someone plays shit, and if they've got another agenda like Roy Keane and Carrick's wife and whatever, if you don't like you, that's who Roy Keane is, isn't it? Like, so I don't know. We have to be careful with this because we know the spotlight that comes with United, but we as fans should know our own history enough to know what's really going on in it. Like, that's the run in the mill. If you're in our changing room and you're shit or you're dropping the ball, we're gonna tell you. We might kick a boot in your face, but if you do as you're told, you'll win a treble. Get me?
Yeah, but times have changed, though. People are soft.
No,
now.
but people are soft, but that's who's talking. It's that era that's talking. So we that's why we have to remember our own history, innit?
Yeah, but Coley, don't you feel as though that I can understand targeting a person individually or based, but I feel like this is tarnishing the club. And back then also, it was for you lived and bled for the club. This feels as though that they don't even care about how a negative impact it's doing on the club as a whole,
Yeah,
my brother, I'm not
based on who they are.
Disrespute it, because that goes into what Peter just said. Times have changed. Like this generation's soft. You two are absolutely right, but
100%.
you can't have things like Man United DNA that comes with pros and cons, bro. And you get to the Man United DNA in a certain way. And the hairdryer is a fucking cornerstone of our DNA. Yeah, David Beckham, Golden Boy, act up,
Boot to the face.
your head, get out of the get out of it. Go away. Rude. You want to talk shit? You want to do the most? You want to start cussing people's dads off? Get out of it.
Yup,
and
Sam,
so on
bro.
and so forth.
Yup, Sam, the
Roy
hardest
King,
man on the planet.
you're not publish a book, Roy King. You think you're the man? Get out of here.
Even Yap Stam. I was pissed when we got rid of Yap Stam. Yap Stam gets thrown out.
Yap Stam has, what did he do? 2 seasons, and he's still one of the best the Prem has ever seen. How do you do that?
It was 3 seasons.
3 seasons.
3. Okay, 3.
And he won the Premier League every season he was there, and they still got rid of him.
Damn.
All right then. So like, you can't have Man United DNA without that. You understand me? Like, because otherwise it don't become the dynasty that it becomes. Otherwise it dies with the greatness, like the great levels of Yapstam when they go. Get me?
Yeah, but so then we should just cast them out too because we're part of Man United. Post goes, get out of here.
One second. You know what? Realistic Red just posted a comment, yeah, and I kind of agree with him as well because the hairdryer treatment is part of our DNA and all that kind of stuff, yeah. But is he giving hairdryer treatment or is he just chatting shit to the public? Do you know there's a difference between like, hey, Cody, if me and you had a problem, yeah, if me and you had a problem, bro, and I go to the mains on YouTube and go, holy. Bro, he's moving mad, you know, this man's moving dumb, like, what the fuck? Or instead of calling you and going, yo, bro, listen, you're being dumb yesterday, yeah? Like, fix up, look sharp. It's a difference, isn't it? There's hairdryer treatments, the same thing that we talk about when managers go on the mains and start cussing out the players that are playing for them, rather than addressing it in the dressing room. Do you get what I'm saying? So him as a Man United great should know that feeling.
There's definitely an argument for that where, like, when you lot was talking about comparing the Liverpool legends, how they don't, like, there is an element of, like, you don't need to know that your place is different now, and it does come across like that. Get me? Like, so if anything, be more political about it. Get
Can
me?
I
You don't
chime in?
necessarily have to.
But why?
Go ahead, young
Go
bro.
ahead.
Why are you posting Tonali and heart emoji, bro? Sorry.
Yeah,
that's the part that's
Ferguson back in
bugging.
the day was near that Avro for being seen in public with Tevez. It gets to that level of scrutiny with the media, like, you know. So it's literally just, and he basically said, look, you could go to Tevez's house, Tevez could come to your house, I just don't want to see you in public or I'm tearing up your contract. It was that simple, like, you know, because the media is going to scrutinize everything that they see when it comes to Manchester United.
But now you have Gary Neville, a United legend who I supported all my childhood, shoveling snow at Anfield. I'm like, boss.
What are you talking about?
He got paid.
Wasn't he shoveling snow the last year? Wasn't he shoveling? How many times have I been saying this? You're shoveling snow with Gary Neville, with Carrick. He was shoveling snow.
I remember.
So what's Gary
shoveling
Neville?
snow at Anfield, at the Anfield pitch? You're a United legend. You're shoveling snow.
He got paid to have that image. He got paid for that look.
It don't matter what you got. Get out. That's the same. He needs a blow dryer. That's the same thing we're talking about. You know
and
what
I
I mean?
agree. I agree. You should have just stayed out of the public eye with it. Like, you know, don't let the public see you do it. Like, I agree. But him on his contract and money, his saying, well, I don't care. I'm getting paid.
And to be honest, sorry to cut you short, bro. Half of these people are legends. They ain't that smart. Because when they're in the midst of other people, like they play them. You know, like
you don't have to be smart to be a legend, though. To be honest,
bro. You know, I know. I'm just trying to say, bro, that
smart.
they ain't that smart at all. Because you find that Carragher will let Gary talk smack about Man United, right? When the tables are turned around, Carragher will just quickly manipulate his way by praising Liverpool and giving advice to where Liverpool is lacking. And then Gary agrees without even giving that type of criticism. That's like giving a bad light on the team, or that can even demoralize youngsters in that squad that look up to Carragher. They don't even see what they do, these legends, bro. Like, it's crazy.
But haven't you noticed, there's always like some sort of humiliation ritual that these men are always taking part in, especially on Sky Sports.
I'm gonna be honest, when it came to the footballers, I asked them out of that type of conversation. But it's funny because you can kind of see it still, like, you know, the part of that Hollywood little rituals and shit like that at this point.
Yeah.
But I said yesterday, like, this cements Fergie as the GOAT, bro. How was he able to dominate 25 years with brain dead players, bro? This cements Fergie as the GOAT.
No, but listen.
Why are they brain dead? Why are they brain dead? Explain to me.
See what he's commenting, bro. Tonali, hard emoji. Roy Keane talking about Carrick's wife. That's not smart, bro. That's brain dead. That's stupid.
No, it's not. It's not smart. Yeah, it's definitely not smart. It's definitely not smart.
I mean,
but at the same time,
bro, putting a heart emoji on Tonali after we just lost. Bro, putting a heart emoji on Tonali after we just lost to Newcastle, bro.
It's
I
personal.
actually want to play devil's advocate for a second, guys, and say,
Sorry?
like, it's Instagram. I want to play devil's advocate for a second and say, it's his Instagram, bro. You guys are practicing a certain double standard right now because you have football views. It doesn't mean because I kicked a ball and won trophies with a club, I can't be saying my football views. I'm an individual now. And because you call me a legend doesn't mean I shouldn't say what I think.
To be fair, his voice
Papi,
matters.
sorry,
over ours.
not sorry.
He's the greatest midfielder of all time in the Premier League.
No,
Botswana, unfortunately, now
accolade.
bots. Listen, bots. Unfortunately, the world doesn't work like what you're saying. I wish it did.
Okay.
If you put, let me finish. It doesn't. If you just because even you in your own household, bro, you the last one to eat. Whether how you're hungry, you have to feed the world. Bro, he's a legend of a club. He played. He saved for this club. He needs to carry himself in a certain manner. There is nowhere a person.
Does that mean
listen?
Takes that you only agree with?
That means how you. Sorry. So how the public perceives you or how you present yourself to the public matters. Because of who you are, because of what, bro. There's some universities. There's some universities right now. If you have a certain scandal, they will even kick you out of their
but what you're talking about
and all that because you are associated to certain things.
You're talking about something. No. Wait, chill. You're talking about something different, yeah. Because all right, what you're saying applies for the likes of like Martin Keown for Arsenal, yeah. When you hear that guy yap, he yaps staunchly in defense of Arsenal, and the reason why is because he's on the payroll, bro. Yeah, he's also the guy that goes to the Champions League. Like he's absolutely on the payroll. So that's what you're asking them to act like. And really and truly, that's not the reality of their situation. They're not on the payroll. They're on Sky Sports payroll. They're on TNT's payroll. They're not on them man's payroll. Like realistically, yeah, that's how we know them as. That's how we know them. But like, I don't think it makes sense to give fuel to the fire of what.
But isn't Gary Neville getting bread from this new stadium with Radcliffe?
Is he getting bread from Man U? Is he getting bread from Man U?
Yes.
No, he's not.
Isn't he?
How?
Yes.
No.
Is he not part of this new stadium?
He's in the project, bro. He's leading the project for the new stadium.
He's in the project for the new stadium.
All right, cool. When that happens, then yeah, you can say that. But as it stands right now, he's not getting no bread. He's not.
He interviewed.
That's why he's in the podcast.
He's sucking
He's not getting no bread.
Bro.
Unless I'm wrong, and he is on the payroll somehow. Fair enough. I'm ready to be wrong about that. But to the best of my knowledge, he ain't employed by them in any way, shape, or form. So there's no reason for him to be a staunch ambassador, and for us to ask him to be one, it basically like. I don't think I would even want that. I don't think I would want that because I'd get irritated if man like Rooney, Rio were doing basically a bit of what they were doing. It weren't that bad for me when they did it with Solskjaer, but you could see it. That would annoy me if they were doing that all the time. So I don't really want them doing that. Like, what I think we need to not do is because look, TNT make them say things like that, yeah? Not make them, but they give Roy Keane the airtime because they know Roy Keane's gonna go off, yeah?
The producer exit on.
Yeah, but what we not need to do as man, because we as Man United fans, we write the narrative for the rest of the league to kick us with. Like we give them the sticks because we hear that, we put fuel to that fire. Then every time you lot go now chat to a rival fan, they will beat you with one of their comments, and that's what that's what a lot of the fan base tries to form their opinions, counteracting. They try to form opinions. Counteracting what they think they're going to get beat with based on what the last fucking media coverage said. Instead of watching the game, knowing the game and your team for yourself, knowing the history of your team for yourself, because like I said, if you know Roy Keane's history with Michael Carrick, anyone that turns around and says anything to you along the lines of that, you just say, wait, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Them man don't like each other.
Yeah.
Get me?
It's well known, well documented.
If you're a United fan, yeah, because you'll remember certain times Carrick getting dropped, Keane getting dropped.
All right, no.
But anyway,
point heard.
Yeah.
Anything else that we want to say in conclusion, by the way, about about anything, state of affairs we're in, whatever, ex-legends, anything.
But on the ex-legends talk, I just want to talk about performance. If
Yes.
you're cool with that.
Yeah. Chime in, especially because Cole, you came at the end of the show. You didn't really talk a lot about yesterday's performance. You know,
it's not even yesterday's. It's the ones that we've been winning as well. Like I'm not. This ain't a narrative to make me look good in any way, shape, or form. So just before we put it out there, but like Sesko has genuinely been winning us those games, and like we've been riding that, and now we're in a difficult situation where we need to win. We need to keep winning. That's the only way to ensure Champions League. And the way we've been winning is by using him as a super sub. But the other problem is other people are dropping out of form in terms of the attack. Mbeumo, I mean, Cunha's not really, like, he's been alright, but he's not been firing. So yeah, it's like it's difficult. Like, what do we do? Do we put Sesko back on the bench for the next game, hoping that we get similar performance levels to what have been carrying us but not great, or do we try and push through, start Sesko again? Because really, it ain't his fault. Like the game yesterday, no one found him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
that's
did
the big
say
issue,
that as
bro.
well,
It shouldn't be one player that has to find this guy every time, like, or it has to be multiple players to find him, and it just doesn't happen. Like, that's where we lack a lot of.
Can I?
I think we put Mbeumo on the bench instead.
I wouldn't even put Mbeumo on the bench. Yeah, I would put Ahmad on the left, and I'd say to him, I don't want to see you shoot. Your job is to find Sesko at least 8 times in the first half, and if you don't, I'm bringing you off for Cunha.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, that's that first mentality, basically.
And Mbeumo, you've got the same situation. Like, if you do not find this boy at least 8 times in the first half, you're going to be the sub.
I agree.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree because that's fair.
Involve yourself in the game.
I'm left-footed. Maybe Ahmad 8, me 4, because I'm left-footed. Like, I'd have to, like, you know, cross with my weak foot.
That's why I'm putting you on the left. Well, that's what I'm saying. If I put you on the left,
the only reason I'll disagree with
that cross.
Yeah, me, I just I think ever since we signed Mbeumo, he hasn't really touched bench, to feel. I think he needs to kind of like get a little bit of humbling, come down, watch the game from the stands, look at the runs, get that hunger back. Because I think it's almost as though he feels as though like he's become on that Bruno plateau of like undroppable. He's never been on the bench since we got him, bro. Cunha has always touched bench.
Because but Mbeumo's he's produced something more consistently than Cunha, so he's been keeping his place in the team, to be fair to him, and also he's been rotated into a striker and performed there as well. But that's what really needs to happen between them 3 wingers. There's 2 spots, and they all need to be told. Someone's gonna get let down, and it can't be Sesko anymore, because what needs to happen is you lot's job needs to be to find him, and then you can go after a goal for yourself. And
just
the reason why go on.
I just to interject real quick, right? Obviously, you said that Mbeumo showed something a bit more consistent, and that's why your argument would be to drop Cunha, but then bring in Ahmad. But my argument is that Ahmad hasn't been more consistent than Cunha.
No, he hasn't. But the only reason why I was going to go with Mbeumo really is because, to be fair, on the right-hand side, he's like Cunha, you're asking him to step out of position more so. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a bit more of a natural fit for Mbeumo on the right. So give him the benefit of the doubt, give him a half, and then you give Cunha the opportunity to adapt. And you basically say to all 3 of them, someone is going to have to adapt, whether it be Cunha goes to the right and you keep the right-hand spot, Ahmad, you go to the left, you keep the left-hand spot. But the way we're going to play is our striker is going to see at least fucking 12 chances a game. Get me?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my logic. Like, it's not based on really, like, I'm not picking out of who's done the most, because to be honest, over the last, even when we've been winning, none of them lot have really been setting the world on fire, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, none
Bruno's
of them
getting
be
the
playing
assists.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruno's been getting the assists and carrying from that perspective, and then Sesko's been carrying from the goals perspective. Them three ain't doing their job. The only reason why I'm setting it up like that is because I'm one, making a statement, and two, I'm trying to make sure it doesn't feel completely fucking alien to everyone on the first game. Do you know what I'm saying? At least like Mbeumo's got some familiarity on the right instead of putting Cunha there, where it's like now he's out of position, Ahmad's out of position, and like, yeah.
I'd be interested to see one thing though. I'd be interested to see how Ahmad would perform without Mbeumo on the side. Just because when Ahmad plays, Ahmad mainly tries to find Mbeumo all the time. So certain times ignoring Cunha in a better position. So I would like to see how he performs as a team player when his best friend ain't in the team.
Well,
absolutely. That's why I even say I agree with that.
That's a good point.
That take, because that's why for me the next game I would sit Mbeumo out, just out of principle, the fact that I could see his form, saving him from, because you don't want his form to dip so low that it starts to affect his confidence. You know, like you said, Cole, like his form.
Let's build a little team, bots. Put the team thing up real quick. Let's build a little team for the next feature.
You wanna take out Mbeumo from the game versus Aston Villa?
Me, yeah. I'll start. Let me. I can give you put the team thing. I can give you my team. Quick.
Let
He's
him cook.
He's doing it. That's why the team froze. There we go.
Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah. Obviously, you can change the formation real quick.
1, 2, 3.
3 at the back. I'm just joking. Don't cut my head off.
Very funny. You got jokes. Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, we get the cool goal in the back. Yeah. And then is Shaw okay? He has on a yellow. So I'd have Mazarawi on the right, Shaw on the left. And then, of course, Yoro and Maguire in the middle.
Maggie? Everybody saw that.
That's crazy. The two midfields, obviously, we know that's Mino Kaz. We're not changing that. Bruno, yeah, and then put Ahmad on the right wing, right side of the wing, and then maintain Cunha on the left and Sesko on top. Done.
Cunha on the left, yeah, just got fun. Yeah, Bruno needs to hold bench one time.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, we haven't seen this yet.
We have seen this, I'm sure.
We have.
No, this lineup, Ahmad hasn't played with Cunha without Mbeumo. When they went to the AFCON together.
Yeah, Mbeumo's played every match, to be fair.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. We haven't seen this. We haven't seen this.
Yeah.
And
then
I'm
Mbeumo can
cool
come
with
on
that.
as
I'm
an
not gonna
impact.
lie.
Yeah. Because then we can have options.
I'd stick to my guns and swap them around. Because Cunha don't pass anyway, bro.
What Ahmad on the left?
Anyway, like,
but Cunha don't pass. I get what you're saying. Cunha don't pass, but Colin, but he's the one that's a little bit. He's the one that's a little bit on form. That's even though the game yesterday, he was the only one taking on players. You know, he was trying. Cunha can't play on the right, guys. He'll be out of position.
This is bad.
So basically, you have four Cunha's posting to cross. I get it.
But he's right-footed. He can whip the
ball. He won't cross.
Exactly.
It's not in his game, bro. Ahmad crosses, Mbeumo crosses.
Can he?
He did it for Scholes.
He's getting subbed. If he does not cross, he's getting subbed.
Yeah, then Mbeumo could come on.
He's got 45 minutes. I want at least 8 chances from you.
Yeah, that's
all you can do is cross.
Yeah, but you can't tell someone that could not pursue. Someone like
You're
Cunha.
gonna make him.
And
Yeah,
I
exactly.
fucking
He'll
will.
be
What do you
pissed.
mean?
You know why he can't? Yeah, because he scored
He's gonna do
clutch
what he
goals
does,
for us,
but he's gonna
bro.
have to cross at some point.
Put it this way, I think you can say to him, you can't tell a person like Cunha
Cunha
not
crossed
to
the
drink in the
goal,
first
yeah,
half.
exactly.
But you have to hold on, but you have to tell him that I want at least 6 crosses out of you. But you can't tell him not
He
to.
assisted from Dogu. Actually, I think the realest one is right. He assisted that
From the
Dogu.
right.
Didn't that come from
Yeah,
Cunha from the right side?
hand side.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So Colin's
right,
right.
right.
He can do
All
a
he has
job.
to do. All right. So all he has to do, yeah. And Joe, hear me out. All he has to do is, I'm saying he has to provide 8 crosses, yeah, and he gets to stay on. If he gets an assist, he's allowed to start doing this thing and try and go for goal again. But I demand minimum 8 chances. I demand it.
I mean, I understand that, but you can't tell him. Imagine if he cut through. Imagine if he actually got into a good position and then he
he'd
passed
be like, no, manager said 8 crosses.
Yeah, but obviously I'm not gonna throw that.
No, but obviously use your brain. Obviously use your brain. Come on.
Yeah, innit? You're not gonna be got through on goal 1-on-1, stop and go, oh, I must cross. And then you're gonna get subbed for being an idiot. Like,
Hold on, I can't shoot here. I'm joking. No, I get it, obviously. Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah.
No, but this is realistic. Red is right. We've heard Rio talk about this, about like, guys, you gotta find Van Persie. Anybody with the ball, find like he had a meeting and said that to every player.
yeah, bro, I'm not.
You know,
I'm not
'cause
reinventing the wheel, bro. I remember too. I'm not reinventing the wheel. Like that's why I said it. Like that's how this went last time. Like we had a fucking potent striker.
Yeah.
No one was finding him. Fergie pulled everyone to the side and said, enough. The only way you are playing is by servicing him. And if you're not servicing him, I don't care what your name is, you will fucking hit bench, then the door. Like, don't play with me because we will win like that. Simple. Simple. I don't want to hear nothing else. And I can't wait for Dorgy to get back because I think if that does start working, then that answers the question that I can't remember. I think it was Bally pulled up earlier about Ahmad always looking for Mbeumo because Dorgu likes going forward, so he'll be there for 1-2s that Ahmad likes with Mbeumo. But it means the last thing can still be a pass. The last thing can still be a cross there. And like I said, bro, as soon as someone gets a goal for Sesko, with 1-0 up, now you can have a bit more freedom. Yeah? But like, don't forget like how you guarantee goals. If you lot go for 2-3 fucking 30-yarders and it don't work, we're going back to the crosses, bro, because we're already 1-0 up and we want to get 2-0 up within the next 20 minutes.
Also, that work rate that Dogu was giving us before, I kind of feel like that was the key to our form.
The right play.
Yes. No, you're onto something. There is. That's why that take from earlier on from Tara, about you know, intensity, like Kara, the intensity lacking, like, you know, there is some level of truth to it. We may not all agree with it or like it, but for the people that were not here for it, this is what Kara said. Amram's intense style of playing possession football, man-to-man marking, and his system is starting to fade away from these players. For the past 4 games, we've been playing vibes football with individual brilliance from Sesko and Bruno saving us. Let's admit it, if the players are now playing the same way we saw under Eric, and it's going to hurt us later.
Hey, boss, every morning when you wake up, do you just type in Amram's name and see what pops up?